What if I told you some animals on Earth are older than dinosaurs, continents, and even trees? Creatures are so ancient that their survival secrets feel illegal to know, like a 360-million-year-old vampire fish that sucks blood like an underwater horror villain, or a tiny shrimp that outlived asteroids by napping in dried mud for decades. These aren't myths, they're real. While T-Rex turned to fossils, 11 ancient animals hid in the shadows, surviving volcanoes, ice ages, and space rocks. But now, they're facing their deadliest threat yet, us. Here's the truth. A creature with blue blood that saved millions of human lives is being drained for profit. A living submarine, older than mountains, is being turned into jewelry. And a fish that came back from the dead? We're trawling the oceans it calls home. Extinction is a choice. These animals survived chaos. We can't be the reason they disappear. Stick around. By the end, you'll see why these 11 living fossils aren't just history. They're a warning. The blue-blooded time traveler. Let's start with a creature that's been around 100 million years before the first dinosaur even existed. Meet the horseshoe crab. Spoiler, it's not a crab. It's a 450-million-year-old medical miracle, and Big Pharma is draining it dry. Here's the secret they don't want you to know. This thing's blood isn't red. It's more bright blue, like something from a sci-fi movie. Why? Because instead of iron, its blood uses copper to carry oxygen. But that's not even the wild part. That blue blood can detect deadly bacteria better than any human-made tool. So, pharmaceutical companies catch thousands of these living fossils every year, strap them to racks, and drain 30% of their blood to test vaccines and IV drugs. They call it milking. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. Up to 30% die afterward. The survivors get tossed back into the ocean, dizzy, confused, and easy prey. Now, here's why you should care. That blue blood has saved your life. Have you ever used every COVID vaccine, flu shot, or IV drip? Tested with horseshoe crab blood. But here's the kicker. We've had a synthetic alternative since 2003. Cheaper, cruelty-free, and just as effective. But guess what? Companies still prefer the natural method. Why? Because regulations move slower than these ancient creatures. But today, their biggest threat isn't asteroids or volcanoes. It's us. Beachfront development is destroying their nesting sites. Climate change is messing with their food. And that blood harvest? It's cutting their population by the thousands yearly. We're using a 450-million-year-old creature like a disposable lab tool. If that doesn't shock you, what will? So, next time you get a vaccine, remember, a living fossil paid a price for that. The question is, how much longer can they survive us? The zombie fish, Coelacanth. Scientists called it extinct for 66 million years. Gone. Forgotten. A fossil. Then, in 1938, a South African fisherman pulled up something weird. A fish with thick scales, hollow spines, and fins that looked like baby legs. The Coelacanth, a living fossil that outsmarted extinction. Here's the secret museums don't highlight. When that fisherman showed his catch to the local museum curator, she almost threw it out. It stank. It looked like a mutant trout. But then she spotted those weird fins, actual lobe fins with bones and muscles, like a half-finished experiment in walking. This fish practiced crawling onto land 400 million years ago, while our ancestors still swam around as tadpole-looking blobs. But wait, it gets wilder. After that first catch, we found more. It turns out that Indonesian fishermen have been eating them for centuries. They called it Raja Laut, king of the sea. Tastes awful. It's greasy and gross. But who cares about flavor when you're eating a dinosaur's roommate? Here's the kicker. The Coelacanth hasn't changed in 400 million years. Not one bit. Evolution looked at it and said, perfect, don't touch it. It lives in deep underwater caves, avoiding sunlight like a goth teenager. It's got a fat-filled spine to survive crushing ocean depths, and a brain that's 1% of its skull, mostly just fluid. Scientists think it's the fish version of a couch potato. But why does this matter? Because this fish is a time capsule. Its DNA holds secrets about how life crawled from sea to land. Lose it, and we lose a chapter of our own story. And guess what? We're already screwing up. Deep-sea trawling and climate change are invading its caves. Even a zombie fish can't survive nets and pollution. We declared it extinct, then acted shocked when it came back. Maybe we're the ones who need to evolve. So next time you see a rare species label, remember, the Coelacanth was a fossil, until it wasn't. What else is hiding in the deep? And how long until we push it over the edge? The ocean's original submarine. This creature's resume is older than the combined trees, mountains, and dinosaurs. Meet the Nautilus, a 500-million-year-old living submarine. And right now, it's being hunted for something you might be wearing: jewelry. Here's the dirty secret the shell trade doesn't want you to know. That gorgeous spiral pattern on Nautilus shells. It's not just art, a survival tool perfected over 500 million years. Each chamber in its shell holds air or water, letting it rise or sink like a deep-sea elevator. Trilobites? They went extinct. Asteroids? Dodged them. But fancy home decor? That's killing them faster than anything in their history. Let's break it down. Jet propulsion? The Nautilus invented it. It sucks water into its mantle and blasts it out to swim backward. Imagine a rocket, but slower and with tentacles. Night vision? Its eyes have no lenses, just pinholes to detect shadows in the pitch-black deep, perfect for avoiding predators. Until trawler nets showed up. Shell math? Its spiral follows the Fibonacci sequence, a pattern so perfect architects and artists steal it. But humans don't just copy it, we rip it straight off their backs. And here's the kicker. These things survived all 5 mass extinctions. The Permian apocalypse that wiped out 96% of life, the Nautilus partied through it. But today, they're being scooped up for $10 trinkets in beachside souvenir shops. Scientists say they could go extinct in 20 years. 500 million years of evolution were erased for keychains and earrings. Survived asteroids, volcanoes, and ice ages. But luxury might finally finish them off. Why should you care? Because the Nautilus is a time machine. Its shell layers hold clues about ancient ocean chemistry, like a natural hard drive storing Earth's history. Lose them, and we lose a window into our planet's past. So next time you see a shiny shell necklace, ask yourself, is that worth more than a creature that outlived continental drift? Or are we just the latest extinction event in a fancy disguise? The third-eyed lizard. This isn't a lizard. It's the last survivor of a reptile gang that partied with dinosaurs, and it's got a third eye hidden under its forehead. Meet the Tuatara, a 250-million-year-old rebel that refuses to die. Here's the secret zoos won't tell you. That third eye isn't for seeing ghosts. It's a solar-powered sensor. The Tuatara uses it to track sunlight, like a built-in weather app. Need to know if it's too cold to hunt? Check the eye. Time to nap through winter? Eye says yes. But here's the kicker. That eye disappears as they grow up. By adulthood, it's buried under scales, a secret only scientists and predators, who don't care, know about. Let's rewind. 250 million years ago, Tuataras weren't alone. Their reptile squad, the Rhynchocephalians, ruled the planet. Then came the dinosaurs, and poof, the squad vanished. Except this guy. While T-Rex stomped around, Tuataras hid in New Zealand, breathing so slowly they could go 90 minutes without a single breath. They're not lazy. They're energy-saving ninjas. But wait, it gets wilder. Tuataras can live past 100 years, and females don't hit puberty until they're 20. Imagine waiting 2 decades to have your first date. They're also cold-blooded, but thrive in near-freezing temps. Scientists found them chilling in snow, moving slower than a Wi-Fi connection in 1999. Now here's the plot twist. We almost killed them off. Rats hitched rides on human ships and ate their eggs. By the 1900s, Tuataras were nearly gone, until New Zealand went full Avengers mode. They wiped out invasive rats on 32 islands, creating safe zones. Today, Tuataras are bouncing back, but climate change is heating up their homes. Too warm, and their eggs hatch only males. No females? Game over. They survived the dinosaur apocalypse, only to face gender extinction from our carbon footprint. Why should you care? Because the Tuatara's DNA is a time capsule. It evolves twice as fast as most animals, yet looks unchanged for millennia. Scientists call it a living contradiction. Lose it, and we lose a key to evolution's cheat codes. So next time you complain about slow Wi-Fi, remember, the Tuatara's been buffering for 250 million years, and it's still here. Will we let it finish loading? The dinosaurs' BFF, Crocodilians. This predator hasn't changed its look in 200 million years. Not one stitch. Crocodiles shared swamps with T-Rex, outlasted asteroids, and laughed through ice ages. Their secret? Be a stone-cold killer, and never update your software. Here's the secret luxury brands don't want you to know. That $50,000 handbag? It's made from a creature older than grass. Crocodiles survived the Cretaceous extinction by slowing their heartbeat to 1 beat per minute, playing dead for hours. But today, we're skinning them alive for wallets and belts. Evolution's ultimate survivor, turned into a fashion accessory. Let's break down their resume. Unchanged since the Jurassic. Their DNA is a fossil. 4-chambered heart? Check. Armor-plated skin? Check. A bite force of 3,700 psi? 10 times a great white shark? Check. Dinosaurs upgraded to birds. Crocs stayed perfect. Survival hacks. They can go 3 years without food. Survive in saltwater and freshwater. Even their immune system is bulletproof. They heal from injuries that'd kill a hippo. Ice Age? No problem. When glaciers froze the planet, crocs burrowed into mud and entered a coma-like state. They've napped through apocalypses. But here's the kicker. We're their first unpredictable predator. Unlike T-Rex, we don't just eat them. We turn them into status symbols. Over 1.5 million crocodiles are farmed yearly for leather. Farms claim it's humane, but undercover footage shows crates of stressed juveniles, their jaws taped shut. They survived Earth's worst disasters, only to die in a warehouse for Instagram clout. Why should you care? Because crocs are ecosystem janitors. They eat rotting carcasses, stopping disease spread. Lose them, and rivers turn into biohazards. Plus, synthetic alternatives exist. Lab-grown croc leather that's cheaper and cruelty-free. But brands cling to the authentic myth because rich folks love exclusivity, even if it's extinction in disguise. So next time you see crocodile leather, ask, is that bag worth more than a creature that outlived continental breakup? Or are we just the latest asteroid, dumber and more vain? The deep-sea alien. This is the ocean's best-kept secret. A 125-million-year-old predator that looks like a bad Photoshop job. Meet the Goblin Shark, a pink, flabby nightmare with jaws that detach and shoot like a horror movie prop. And guess what? We've only seen one alive, twice. Here's the truth marine biologists whisper about. This shark's been lurking in the dark since the early Cretaceous period. It watched dinosaurs evolve, party, and die, all while chilling 4,000 feet below the surface. Its jaws aren't just weird, they're a biological slingshot. When it senses prey, its entire mouth launches forward like a catapult, stabbing victims with nail-like teeth. Then it sucks the meat out like a vacuum cleaner. But here's the kicker. Despite looking like a rejected alien franchise monster, it's harmless to humans. Why? Because we're not dumb enough to swim 4,000 feet in pitch-black water. Also, it's slower than a traffic jam. Most of its hunts are scavenging dead whales that sink to the abyss. Let's break down its resume. Its mouth extends 3 inches in 0.2 seconds, faster than a rattlesnake strike. Its skin is translucent, letting blood vessels show through. Looks like a zombie sausage. It hasn't changed in 125 million years. Why? Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is its motto. Here's the plot twist. Even though we rarely see it, we're still messing up its life. Deep-sea trawling drags nets through its habitat, scraping the ocean floor for shrimp and fish. Goblin sharks get caught as bycatch, thrown back dead or dying. And deep-sea mining? That's digging up metals in its neighborhood, stirring up toxic sludge. This shark survived mass extinctions by hiding in the dark. But human greed thrives in the dark too. Why should you care? Because the goblin shark is a reminder of how little we know. Less than 5% of the deep sea is explored. We're destroying ecosystems we haven't even named yet. And for what? Smartphone batteries and sushi buffets? So next time you complain about Wi-Fi speed, remember, there's a pink, jaw-flinging relic out there that survived asteroids, but might not survive our apathy. What else is down there? And how many secrets will we erase before we even learn them? The immortal ghost. This jellyfish is older than trees, mountains, and dinosaurs, and refuses to die. Meet the Tuatara dorni, a creature that hits the reset button on life. Stab it, starve it, or stress it out, and it dies into a baby, restarting its life cycle. It's the Benjamin Button of the sea, and right now, it's choking on our plastic. The secret marine labs don't advertise. Scientists call it immortal, but that's a lie. It can still die, just not of old age. When threatened, its cells transform. Tentacles melt, body shrinks. Within days, it's a blob of tissue clinging to a rock. Reborn as a polyp, rinse and repeat, forever. Let's rewind. 500 million years ago, jellyfish were the OG predators. No brains, bones, or heart. Just a stomach and a sting. While dinosaurs rose and fell, jellyfish floated through all 5 mass extinctions. How? By being more straightforward than a TikTok trend. No complex parts to break. No habitat is too harsh. Just adapt, reset, repeat. But here's the kicker. This immortal met its match in the 20th century. Plastic. Jellyfish eat plankton. Today, microplastics look like plankton, so they swallow them, clogging their stomachs with poison. Even worse, plastic bags look like jellyfish to turtles, who eat them and die. So we're killing both predator and prey. Survived asteroids, ice ages, and volcanic hell. But a Ziploc bag? That's the endgame. Why should you care? Because this jellyfish holds the key to human immortality. Scientists are studying its genes to reverse aging in humans. But here's the irony. We're polluting the creature that could save us. Labs scramble to breed them, but wild populations are vanishing, drowned in soda rings and fishing nets. Think about it. A creature that's lived through 500 million years of chaos is now threatened by grocery bags and six-pack rings. It's like outliving meteors, only to get taken out by a Walmart parking lot. So next time you toss a plastic bottle, ask yourself, are we the asteroid now? And if immortality exists, do we deserve it? The caviar king. This fish survived 200 million years of rivers, asteroids, and ice ages, only as a fancy garnish on a billionaire's toast. Meet the sturgeon, the living dinosaur we're eating into extinction. And here's the secret the caviar industry doesn't want you to know. That $10,000 tin of black gold, it's the eggs of a creature older than grass. Let's rewind. Sturgeons swam with Jurassic sharks. They outlived the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. How? By being tanks. Some grow longer than your car, weigh over a ton, and live past 100 years. They've got no teeth, just a vacuum mouth to suck up worms and shrimp. Simple, right? But here's the kicker. Their eggs became a status symbol. One female sturgeon carries $500,000 worth of caviar. And guess what? We're hacking them open like piñatas to get it. Now, here's the ugly truth. Wild sturgeon are critically endangered. Over 85% of species are on the brink. Why? Illegal caviar trade is worth $100 million yearly. Poachers slice them up, dump the bodies, and sell the eggs as luxury. Concrete walls block their migration routes. They've been spawning in the same rivers for millennia, until we rerouted them for electricity. Some farm-raised caviar is just wild eggs rebranded. Labs can't even test the difference anymore. We're trading 200 million years of evolution for a 5-minute appetizer. But wait, it's not all doom. Scientists are cloning sturgeon DNA to reboot populations. Synthetic caviar made from seaweed or algae tastes identical. But wealthy folks don't want fake luxury. They want the real thing, even if it means erasing a species older than the Himalayas. So why should you care? Because sturgeons are river guardians. They keep ecosystems clean by stirring up sediment and eating dead stuff. Lose them, and rivers turn into toxic sludge. Plus, their decline is a warning. If we can't save a creature that survived asteroids, what chance do pandas or polar bears have? Next time you see caviar, ask, is that salty sprinkle worth more than a living fossil? Or are we just the greediest extinction event in history? The vampire fish. This creature's resume reads like a horror movie script. 360 million years old. No jaws. Just a circular mouth lined with 100 razor teeth. Meet the lamprey, a blood-sucking relic that survived volcanic eruptions, asteroid strikes, and 4 ice ages, but might not survive us. The secret fisheries don't want to be leaked. Lampreys are older than trees, dinosaurs, and even sharks. They've parasitized fish since the Devonian period when our ancestors were literal tadpoles. Their survival tactic? It's a nightmare. They latch onto salmon, trout, or even whales, rasping holes in their flesh to drink blood. No mercy, no regrets. But here's the plot twist. These vampires are vital to ecosystems. Their larvae clean rivers by filter-feeding gunk. When they die, their bodies fertilize waterways. And their ancient DNA holds clues about how vertebrates evolved jaws. So why are we treating them like pests? Let's break it down. No scales, no bones, no jaws. Just a spinal cord and a mouthful of teeth. Evolution called it good enough 360 million years ago and never looked back. They can breathe through their skin, survive in salt water and fresh water. Even their saliva has anticoagulants to keep blood flowing, like nature's vampire juice. Dams block their spawning routes. Pollution poisons their larvae. And invasive species? We're accidentally spreading lampreys to new waters, where they wreck local fish. They survived the Devonian extinction, but human engineering might finally drain them dry. Here's the irony. Governments spend millions poisoning lampreys to protect trout in the Great Lakes. But they're a delicacy in Europe. King Henry I of England allegedly died from eating too many. So, are they monsters or misunderstood? Why should you care? Because lampreys are living time capsules. Their simple bodies hold secrets about our evolution. We lose them, and we lose a chapter of our story. Plus, they're a warning. If we can't coexist with a creature that's survived mass extinctions, what hope do cute animals have? Next time you see a river dam, ask, are we the real vampires here? Sucking life from creatures older than time itself, all for a few more watts of electricity. The apocalypse napper. This creature treats Armageddon like a snooze button. Meet the tadpole shrimp, a 220-million-year-old procrastinator that sleeps through droughts, asteroids, and nuclear winters, only to party for 3 weeks before vanishing again. And here's the secret biologists won't admit. These shrimp are the ultimate survivors, because they're time travelers. Let's break it down. Their eggs are indestructible time capsules. Dry them out, freeze them, blast them into space? No problem. Those eggs can chill in mud for 50 years, waiting for rain. When water finally hits, they hatch, grow fast, mate, lay new eggs, and die before the puddle dries up. They're speed-running life while the rest of us pay taxes. But here's the kicker. Tadpole shrimp haven't changed since the Triassic period. They swam with early dinosaurs, watched continents split, and outlived 99% of all life on Earth. How? By mastering the art of doing nothing. While other species stressed about evolution, these shrimp said, nah, we'll just nap until the apocalypse ends. Here's the twist. Even these lazy geniuses are struggling now. Climate change is messing with rain cycles. Their temporary ponds, drying up faster. Their eggs, they are getting baked into dust before they can hatch. And invasive species, bullfrogs and fish, are eating them like crunchy snacks. They survived 220 million years of chaos. But unpredictable weather might finally delete them. Why should you care? Because tadpole shrimp are living fossils with a purpose. Their eggs are environmental time capsules. Scientists dig them up to study ancient climate patterns. Plus, they're a crash course in survival. Adapt fast, leave backups, and never panic. But here's the irony. We're wrecking their habitats for parking lots and golf courses. Imagine surviving asteroids and volcanoes, only to get paved over for a Starbucks drive-thru. So next time you procrastinate, remember, the tadpole shrimp perfected laziness over 220 million years. And it worked, until humans showed up. Will we let their nap end here, or will we finally hit snooze on our destruction? The egg-laying oddball. When scientists first saw this creature in 1799, they thought it was a taxidermy prank. A duck's bill, a beaver's tail, venomous spikes on its legs. Meet the platypus, a 100-million-year-old glitch in evolution's code, and Australia's weirdest flex. Here's the secret museum's berry. This furry Frankenstein isn't just odd, it's one of Earth's oldest mammals. While other mammals were evolving into tigers or whales, the platypus said, nah, I'll just keep laying eggs and sweating milk through my skin. Let's unpack this biological mad lib. It's a monotreme, a relic from when mammals hadn't figured out live birth. Babies hatch from eggs, then lap up milk oozing from mom's belly pores. Males have poison daggers on their hind legs. It's not lethal to humans, but it'll make you wish you'd skipped arm day. Its duck-like bill detects electric signals from prey, a built-in metal detector for shrimp. But here's the kicker. The platypus hasn't changed in 100 million years. It survived asteroid impacts, ice ages, and Australia's murderous wildlife. How? By being too weird to die. Snakes dodged them, crocs outsmarted them. But now, droughts, dams, and plastic pollution are choking its rivers. They survived 100 million years of chaos. But climate change is writing their final chapter. Why should you care? Because the platypus is a living paradox. Its DNA is a mashup of reptile, bird, and mammal traits. A roadmap to how life evolved. Lose it, and we lose a key to biology's greatest mysteries. Plus, it's a warning. If we can't save something this iconic, what chance do less cute species have? Here's the irony. We're using platypus venom to study diabetes treatments. But while we mine its body for cures, we're poisoning its home with pesticides and sewage. It's like borrowing someone's car while setting their garage on fire. So next time you feel like a misfit, remember, the platypus has been trolling evolution for 100 million years. And it's still here. Will we let its legacy end in a polluted puddle? Or finally give this living fossil a fighting chance? Conclusion. Let's get real. These 11 animals dodged asteroids, volcanoes, and ice ages. They watched dinosaurs rise and fall. They outlasted continents splitting apart. But now, we're bulldozing their homes for parking lots. We're poisoning their rivers with plastic and pesticides. We're hunting them for caviar, handbags, and Instagram flexes. The horseshoe crab's blue blood saves human lives, but we're draining them like soda machines. The Nautilus survived 500 million years, only to get carved into earrings. The Coelacanth? We're trawling its deep-sea hideouts for shrimp. These aren't just animals, they're time travelers. Their DNA holds secrets about evolution, climate, and survival. Lose them, and we lose a library of life's history. Extinction isn't just sad, burning a 500-million-year-old instruction manual we haven't even read yet. If these ancient survivors deserve to see 2012-25, smash that share button. Tag someone who needs to know. The more people see this, the harder it gets to pretend we're not the asteroid now. Subscribe if you want a video on 11 ancient animals we murdered. Spoiler, it's depressing. But here's the good news. We can stop this story from worsening. Share. Donate to conservation groups. Demand change. Extinction isn't just losing a species. It's deleting a chapter of Earth's diary we'll never get to read.